Hello, beautiful people. It is I, Milo Evergreen here. Now, my pronouns are he, him, but if you got something juicy to tell me or you're rooting me on, girl is an exception. And welcome back to another episode of Tea with V. All right, Vilmizers, you know what time it is. It is time for some hot chai topics. So let's get to it. Oh yes, let's get right into it. Well, I hope everybody had a fabulous week. I know I did, and a weekend. All right, so something crazy happened to me not too long ago that I forgot to talk about in the last episode. So I was doing a performance in the city at Star Bar. Shout out to Star Bar. We love and appreciate y'all. They have been so genuine and good to me, and I just love them to death. And I was performing a showcase and hosted by Q. Shout out to Q. Q is amazing, phenomenal, talented man in his own right. And me and my videographer Liam, we were on our way there, and I keep getting these phone calls, these random phone calls, and you know, nowadays with the robocalls and whatnot, you just automatically go straight to voicemail. There was this one phone call that just kept calling. It was from Poughkeepsie. Now, I used to go to Poughkeepsie back in the day. Remember going to Poughkeepsie at the Galleria Mall? Shout out if you're local. If you know Poughkeepsie and the Galleria Mall, you know that was a thing that you did as a kid. And I would beg my grandmother to go to the toy store. Toys R Us? Remember Toys R Us? Now that it's canceled, kids these days will not understand the joy of Toys R Us. I was going onto the subway and the phone call, and I'm like, fine, let me just see. Hello. And guess who was on the other line? My dad. Now, I haven't spoken to my dad in approximately about 5 years. Ooh, I'm spilling all my tea. But recently, I was able to have a nice encounter with him this past year. And it was cute. It was a moment. I'm going to leave it at that. And he called to remind me that it was his birthday. And I didn't realize that it was his birthday because I hadn't spoken to the man in so long. But I wanted to formally wish you a happy birthday, Dad. 52 years young. That man's been through hell and back and so much, and I'm sending him light, love, and positivity on his journey. And the one thing I can say is that I inherited from my dad for sure was my musical ability. You know, I remember growing up, I used to watch him freestyle in front of me and write rhymes and all of that, and I just thought that was a great skill to have. And I remember my first two albums, J World and J World Face to Face, that are discontinued for the time being. I ended up doing the same method that he did. I would just freestyle over a beat, and if I liked it enough, I would keep it. So those songs, actually, when I think about it, were all one takes. Well, not one takes, because you know the background vocals, the ad-libs, and all of that. But yeah, shout out to you, Dad. Thank you for always, you know, blessing me with your musical ability, and you know, I hope that you're getting the proper help that you need. All right, in some other news, so I don't know if you are familiar with Tom Hardy. You must be familiar with Tom Hardy. This gentleman right here is Tom Hardy. Ain't he fine? Oh, he is delicious with his luscious, with his luscious lips and all of his glory. Now, if you're not familiar with Tom Hardy is an actor. He was also in those Marvel movies, the Venom movies and whatnot. Recently, news broke that he quietly entered in a martial arts tournament in a very small English city. And when I tell you he done toured all the boys behinds up in those tournaments. Now, I love the fact that celebrities like him or anybody who really is passionate about other things besides acting, like sure, he can act all he wants to see him taking up his side hobby is really, really inspiring, because hello, when I'm not, you know, dipping and doing it and making music and performing, I like to be a talk show host. Oh yes, I do. I proudly do. And I feel good in it, and I feel proud that I'm, you know, doing my purpose and doing my calling. And maybe also this was part of his calling too. I'm not familiar that maybe he was doing martial arts when he was younger. Maybe that was the thing that he did as a kid and he just always stuck with it. Martial arts is a great skill to have, from what I've been told. I remember I was dating this one gentleman for like 2.8 seconds, and he was in martial arts. And when I tell you, the mindset that goes into martial arts is really, really phenomenal. And he actually was coming out of a really dark environment that he was in, selling drugs and all of that. He was like in this gang and all of that, and he wanted to clean his life up. Well, his father wanted him to clean up his life up. I'm talking about the ex, not Tom Hardy. Not my ex, but like the guy that I was dating for like 2.8 seconds. His father was passing away, and his last dying wish was, you know, son, I really want to see your life improve before I go. So when his father passed away, he kept his word. He got out of the gang affiliation and took all of his anger and trauma through martial arts program, and you know, he stuck with it, and now like he's a black belt. And one of his teachers he really respected and loved so much, the teacher, because homeboy was that good, the teacher said, yo, I'm gonna need you to be my martial arts assistant, because the way you be throwing down and the way you practice and your skill set and your technique and the way you listen, yo, I think I need you on my team. So shout out to my ex, I guess, that I dated for like 2.8 seconds, and shout out to Tom Hardy for enjoying your side hobby. So Kim Kardashian was recently asked about whether she's interested in dating again, and she says that she is now in a space where she wants to date outside of her circle. So she was saying that she's interested in possibly dating a lawyer or a doctor or a finance guy. Now, I actually agree with Kim. I think it's absolutely important to change your circles and not going after the same type that, you know, does you no good if it's not working the way that she described her last relationship. She says that, you know, it's just not working. And she, by the way, I learned that she's the one who ended it with Pete. Pete did not break up with her, because Pete, of course, is not going to break up with Kim. Yeah, she's at a point now where she's just like, listen, you know, I'm done with, you know, people in my field. I want to find somebody who is out of the field. And I think that's absolutely a smart thing to do. And I think it's just great, because for me, the process of dating, and from what I'm learning and still learning, is that, you know, I had a particular type that I would go after for, and that person did not serve me well at all until, you know, I had a come to Jesus moment, and then started dating the guys that were, you know, good, but it just didn't work out because of life. You know, the big LIFE, life happens. You know, people come into your life for what I say. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But what I've learned in the process of dating is that, you know, you have to change your filters. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just have to change your filters. The same thing as Airbnb. Sure, you want the nicest room with the biggest tub and 4 bedrooms and all of that. You just got to open your mind of what things that are really good for you, you know? And, you know, I'm at a point in my life now where I feel very loved and very supported and very respected. And, you know, I'm grateful that I found somebody who kind of not necessarily completes me, because I think it's important that we complete ourselves. And that goes with, you know, marriages too. You know, you don't want to go into a marriage 50-50. You want to go into a marriage 100 and 100. Does that make sense? Now, low key, what I really want to see you with is Van Jones. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Now, I was supposed to meet him in some crazy circumstance that I cannot disclose on account of, you know, that's my business. But you've worked with Van Jones, and I think y'all would be a really cute couple. A close source of mine says that he is a very, 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 very low-key private man, and a girlfriend of mine says that she doesn't see him with Kim in that way. And even if so, I'm fine with Kim being private in her love life. You know, I think that's one thing that we can respect and not have to talk about. You know, even inquiring minds do want to know. Yes, I'm nosy, but I'm also considerate. So good luck, Kim, and I hope you find the love of your life that is definitely outside of your circle. I see a doctor in your future. Who knows? Now, did you hear something that Shaquille did that was really cool? You didn't hear? Okay, so Shaquille O'Neal, who is 6'1", I believe he is 6'1". No, excuse me, he is 7'1". That is a tall ass glass of chocolate milk right there. 7'1". Who is dating somebody who is 7'1"? His girlfriend apparently is my height, 5'7". 7'1"? How do you sleep with a man who is 7'1"? What cars are you driving? What shower are you using? What beds do you have? What pants do you own? What shoe size do you wear? I am dying to know, because 7'1", that's a whole operation. Yo, if I was dating a man who was 7'1", I would probably need to have some mountain climbing gear. All right, because I'm going to need to climb on him in order to get a kiss. What? But anywho, Shaquille recently was being interviewed, and he was regarding the fact that he recently got his master's. Well, not recently, but a while back he got his master's, and he went to get his master's at Phoenix University, and obviously Shaquille went to the head of the university and he's like, I would love to get my master's. And the university said that unfortunately we don't have a class to teach only one person. So what Shaquille did, this is how Black Excellent works. Shaquille recruited 15 of his friends so they can get their master's too. Now, isn't that really cool? Paid, all expense paid and everything. Listen, I need to get my master's. Are you down to get your master's? It's all paid included. That's what I call Black excellence. That's what I call a dope ass friend. That's what I call being down for your people. Now, I don't know if it was just black folks or it could have been anybody. You know, everybody's welcome to get their masters and whatnot. But shout out to Shaquille for doing that. I think that's so dope and noble too, to just having that mindset of looking out for your people, you know, people who want their masters. You know, I ain't paying it unless you ain't serious about it. You know what I mean? So I think that's really cool for him to do that. And hell yeah, if I had the means, I would definitely do that too, you know? I'm only calling the people who have entrepreneurial mindsets. You know what I mean? So shout out to Shaquille for doing that. That is very dope and noble, and I love that. That's what I call Black excellence right there. So speaking of the word excellent, I got some excellent news that could possibly change in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes or the next day or whatever. So I'm hearing that the state of New York is now joining other states in uplifting mask mandates. Hallelujah! I heard that COVID is officially over, allegedly. And I think the President Joe Biden, he said that, you know, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. Now, unfortunately, I have to keep wearing my goddamn mask at my job. Now, listen, I'm all for making sure people are safe, sanctified, and sanitary under these self-reflecting times. But when I tell you, I'll be working in the kitchen and it is hard to breathe. I never thought I would be one of those people. But when I'm in the kitchen, I'm not half-assing anything. All right, I am moving, I'm scrubbing, I'm doing whatever I need. And the kitchen is hot. First of all, to all the people who work in the kitchens and you have to wear a mask, I am praying for you to not fall out from that heat, because that kitchen heat is real. I tell you, I fell out once. Oh yes, I fell out. It was hot as hell. I had this mask on and I was just overheated, and I low-key, I think I was dehydrated as well. But that mask was like the tipping point where I done fell out and they had to send me home. Oh yes. But I'm excited to not wear no goddamn mask anymore. Hopefully my boss will lighten up, but to each his own. But on the plus side, I can finally go to New York and be on that subway and look at gorgeous, attractive men. I don't have to assume that they're attractive. I can know that they're attractive. So, but you know, it is optional. You're entitled to still wear your mask if you feel comfortable to. That's on you, boo. But for me, I'm Gucci. I'm good. I'm done, and I am moved on. All right, so we are now moving into our next segment, which is something I like to call sipping on some TikTok tea, baby. So let's get to it.
Oh yeah.
All right, so this TikTok video is by the username of MindHags, and he discusses about how creative people have a trouble sticking to one thing. Roll the clip.
All right, if you're somebody that considers yourself creative, you gotta tap into this video. I'm literally gonna fucking change your life, I swear to you. Grant, how did you learn all this stuff? Can I Google that information too?
No, you can't Google this because I learned it in the Pagan Society of Math.
All right, so as a creative person, your mind is going 1,000 miles an hour. You have all these different ideas, and your bliss in life is to express creatively. Now, creative expression will manifest in your life in a ton of different ways. You're gonna find avenues for your creativity that isn't conventionally creative. For example, I used to be in sales, and I found sales as a really amazing creative outlet for me. So if you're creative, you will find a way. Now, here's the problem though with having hyper creativity as a personality trait. You lack seriousness to actually take you to the next level. Hear me out. Too many creative people, and I only know this because this was me, you're able to get good at a lot of different things because you have the skill of mimicking and replicating, which is one of the aspects that's at the core of creativity. The problem is you lack the opposite side of that, which is sticking to one thing. So too many creative people shoot themselves in the foot because they are not serious. This is so massively important, I'm literally getting goosebumps. Look at this. That's actual goose pimples. Have to cultivate the skills of number one, sticking to one thing that you can see a lane to get really good at. And number two, having the discipline to do it every day and view it like work instead of just creativity. Because you know you have gifts, bro, or bro, girl version. You have the potential to be amazing at something, but you have to stick to it. You have to take it seriously. You have to take that creative thing that you're doing. You have to create a structure around it. You have to create a structure around it so you can step by step do the thing every day and hold yourself accountable and be disciplined in this thing. And that is the skill so many creative people don't have. But the creative people that can cultivate that skill are always hyper fucking successful because they've got both ends of the coin. Because a lot of the disciplined people, they don't have the creativity side on the other end of the spectrum. And you can't just fucking generate creativity. It has to be naturally and built into you. But if you're creative, you can build the other skills. So you're literally blessed with a fucking gift. Do not waste it. Train yourself to be disciplined and become amazing and get successful. It's super easy. Just do it.
Now, I can agree with him too, because as someone who is multi-talented, I say that humbly. I edit videos, I do photography, I, style, I, write music, I perform, I do a bunch of creative things. And it's really hard for me to stay in one thing because I'm so passionate about every little thing, every little detail that somehow my whole discography of who I am as an artist always fits to one thing. I'm a visual person. I'm a stylist person. I am a singer. I am a talk show host. I'm all these different things. And sometimes it can be overwhelming to the point where I was at a point where I was just like, I need to just cut everything out, sit my black ass down, and just focus on one thing at a time. Because me, I was guilty of what? Writing myself way too thin on some good, delicious baguettes. Oh yes, I was the butter. Spreading myself way too thin. If you're a creative person, realize that you have so many amazing creative gifts, and it is okay to just start with one. Just start with one and hone it and fine tooth comb it and really put all your love and passion into it. And if it blossoms and it makes something good, and you have room to work on something else, then do so. But don't be like me and spread yourself way too thin. It is not cute. All in all, I agree with this man, and don't spread yourself way too thin. All right, so this next video is by Keita Rose _ and they shed some light on what healing truly feels like. Roll the clip.
Healing feels like being in a never-ending fight with your feelings, and your feelings is beating the shit out of you. Like, your feelings got hands. Healing doesn't look like smoking or drinking until the pain goes away, because that pain ain't going nowhere. Healing don't look like distracting yourself with sex or other people. Healing looks like sitting in a dark room and crying and punching the fucking pillow and asking yourself real ass questions that only you can answer, like, why are you crying? Because I'm hurt. Why are you hurt? Because I never expected that from this person, and I gave this person a lot of love, and I didn't expect to be feeling like this after loving this person. I'm bitter. Why are you bitter? I'm bitter because it feel like that person don't even care. It feel like that person just going on with their life, and I'm the one sitting up here broken. I'm resentful. Why are you resentful? I'm resentful because I should have never even gave that person time of day. Like, out of all the people in the world you could have came and fucked with, you came and fucked with me, and I let you in just to be fucking heartbroken at the end of it. That is why I'm resentful, because who is going to judge you for answering them questions for yourself? And then once we start answering those questions, then we can start the process of healing. I talk about shit all the time, and people say, you sound hurt, and they use it as a way to insult me, but little do they know you cannot use the same pain that I've healed from to hurt me. Those wounds don't even open anymore. There are people in this world that would rather walk around hurt than healed, because that is how hard the healing process is. But once you heal, baby, you open up a new version of yourself that's unfuckwittable. That's not even a word. Can't nobody fuck with you once you've done that. So you're not ready to heal today? Okay. You're not ready to heal tomorrow? That's fine. But please don't be one of those people that never heal, because we can see it. We can see it in the way that you walk, talk, and move. We can see it. Okay? And people got mad at me for using the word weak, so I won't use weak today. I'll say broken. But the best thing about being broken is you can fix yourself. When you're ready, I'll be here.
Ooh. Homegirl done took me to church. When I tell you, I agree. Listen, when my healing journey started back in 2016, I think, 2016, because that's when I, named myself a Milo. Yo, healing is no joke, and you got to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to do the work. That healing, what true healing feels like, is just letting yourself hysterically cry and asking yourself really, really real, thought-provoking questions, and honest questions that you know the answers to. Only you know those answers to. And you have to dig deep. You have to go deep within yourself and realize that you are able to make real positive changes within your life, but you got to be willing to do the work. You have to be the one willing to look up underneath the rug. And sure, it's great to have people to help you and guide you, and therapists and all of that. Please go to therapy. I ain't saying go. Please continue seeing your therapist. Please continue taking your med. The person who really helped me to guide me through that was Aunt Crystal. Aunt Crystal, I don't know if you're watching these episodes, but let me tell you, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Aunt Crystal right here, this woman saved my life. Saved my entire life. My goodness, I cannot even tell you how much this woman has been an impactful woman. I kid you not. I owe this woman so much, because when I tell you, when you listen to your elders and when you listen to people who also been through what you've been through, and it validates the shit that you've been through, and letting them know that you are not alone. Cue Michael Jackson. You are not alone. I don't know where I would be without my Aunt Crystal. So shout out to Aunt Crystal, and let me know in the comments below if you got somebody who is your Aunt Crystal, someone who is there for you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to reassure you and let you know that you're not crazy. Aunt Crystal, I am so grateful that you made me feel like I wasn't tripping, and also it's important to have somebody to check you behind too as well. Aunt Crystal, she checks my behind. She checks my behind, and I love her and I respect her for that. So one visualization that I can do before I close out into this last segment is that healing doesn't look like this, okay? It looks like this. It looks like arms wide open and wanting to surrender the trauma, wanting to surrender the pain, wanting to surrender the frustration, and just willing, truly willing to do the work. So if you're in the process of doing the work, I'm sending all my light, love, and positivity to your way, and I wish you nothing but beautiful awakening moment. So be prepared for that. Make sure to get some snacks while you're on the way. We are jumping into my favorite segment, which is Ask V. I don't know what's going on. I maybe had too much coffee, but this is Ask V, and Ask V is where you submit your questions and concerns, and I give you my advice and my perspective and maybe how to fix them and solve them openly and willingly and lovingly, of course. So our Ask V is by Richard. Okay, so hi, my name is Richard. Hi, Richard. I live in Houston, Texas, and I'm 31 years old. I recently got out of a 4-year relationship, and all of my friends keep pressuring me to have a one-night stand to get over my breakup. But I'm just not built like that. So how do I tell my pushy friends to please stop with the unwanted advice? Well, Richard, thank you so much for submitting your question. Well, I would say, Richard, that first of all, you're entitled to do whatever you want to do, and grieve this relationship in the way that you choose to. There's this saying where how to get over them is to get under somebody, and I disagree personally. I'm the type of person who likes to go through all of this state of the emotion so I can just make sure that I'm clear, because I'm personally not built that. I guess we're not personally built that way either. Because if I'm really sad and I'm trying to get through a breakup and I'm trying to get my chakras cleared and my aura cleared, I'm not about to gunk that up by having a one night stand with somebody that I don't even care for. Does that make sense? And honestly, I would match my response the way that they're giving the advice. So, why don't you just sleep with somebody? Why don't you just have a one night stand? Well, why don't you mind your business? Why don't you mind your P's, Q's, R's, and S's? Okay, your TUVs, your WX's and Y's and Z's. No, I'm just playing. No, but seriously, I think that just be honest with your friends and just say, hey, listen, I really respect, y'all helping me out and trying to, help me through this breakup. My spirit is that I just need to not do that. All right. And I would thoroughly appreciate you to please stop pushing me to do that, because it's making me uncomfortable and I'm just not in the mindset for that. So I would say it like that. I hope that advice helped. And when you do have that one night stand, please give us a follow update. Thank you so much, Richard, for sending your question. Really do appreciate it. All right, so we are now moving into some show and tells. Now, there's a few items that I want to show and tell you. Now, I've been getting a lot of comments and responses of saying, what if you use foundation, what foundation do you use? What is your top moisturizer? And what lipstick do you swear by? All right, so I got the 3 of them right here. Now, as a foundation, the foundation that I wear is by none other than Fenty Beauty. Now, this is the Fenty Beauty. Now, this foundation is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. And you got to shake it well and, all of that good stuff. But I swear by this. This is the only foundation I've ever bought ever in my life. I never tried any other foundation except this one. And I went to Sephora. I went to the greats. Now, if you're new to makeup and all of that, go to Sephora and get some professional, help, because I knew I needed professional help regarding foundation. Now, the moisturizer, I use Lauren Conrad, and it's for dry to normal skin face cream, and I live and swear by this. After applying vitamin C oil, massage moisturizing into the face and neck using upward circular strokes before using makeup or whatnot. So you can put this moisturizer on before your foundation or after. I personally like to take off my makeup with a makeup wipe, make sure I'm all good, and my makeup wipe dries me out. So then I go in with this moisturizer, and when I tell you I swear by it, it is one of my favorites. It's just so good. It's so good. It's so buttery, and it just really absorbs very well, and you don't feel oily at all. You just feel moisturized. Now, for lipstick, this lipstick I got from Maybelline drugstore lipstick from CVS. But it's by Maybelline, and it is called Nude Nuance. It is a matte, and it is the 657, and I swear by this lipstick to the point where, like, I remember I was rocking it, and my grandmother was obsessed, so I got her one, and so this is her shade too. So Nude Nuance is definitely my jam. Now, so for all of you nosy Vomizers, of course, I'm gonna put all of the information in the description down below in the description box, so you'll be able to purchase these yourself if you choose to. But those are my 3 items for my show and tell. So to wrap this episode up, we of course have to jump into, say it with me, quote of the week. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And this quote of the week is by Rose Kennedy, and they say this: "Birds sing after a storm. Why shouldn't people feel as free to delight in whatever sunlight remains to them?" And that was by Rose Kennedy. So shout out to Rose. But thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did and my silly goofiness. I don't know what I had to drink today. But as always, please make sure to like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you get news on when we upload. And if you want to become a Vomizer, head over to my website, vomilomusic.com. Anything and everything about me is on there except my birth certificate or social security number. And also, we got some new Tea with V merch, so make sure to check that out as well, which will also be in the description down below. Please be safe, sanctified, and sanitary under these self-reflecting times. And of course, I will catch you all in the next video. Mwah. Ciao.
Feeling